All right, so we're going to create a Google Calendar to show how to schedule critical dates in a contract. And so what we would do here is from Google. Obviously, you're signed into your Google account, and you go to Calendar. And then once this page pops up, you'll scroll down on the sidebar on the left-hand side. And where it says Other Calendars, there is a plus button here. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and click this plus button. And then we will click Create a New Calendar. And then what we'll be able to do is you see over here for my calendars I have, and this is stuff that's under contract or that we've closed recently. You'll create a name, right? So XYZ property contract closing, whatever the case may be, right? And then you'll just create a calendar. And then I'm not going to actually create that one. I'm just going to go and use one of my examples here. So for this one, once you create the calendar, it'll pop up to this page here. Okay. So for this particular deal that's currently under contract, what I'm able to do is share with all of the relevant parties that are involved. So you can go and you can add people, and you can dictate your settings, add a description if you want to, and add notifications for different things. So if you create a new event, if anyone that has access to the calendar creates a new event, then everyone that has access to the calendar will get an email. Same thing with changed events. Canceled events, I didn't do it for that, but obviously you can go over here and you can send everyone an email if an event is canceled or something. Obviously, if a contract event is canceled, then you'll probably have more conversations about that than just a automated email from Google. Um, Daily agenda is not something that you want. That's not something that's really necessary. Um, and so you have different settings and stuff that you can go through and edit. And then once you get to a point where you don't need that calendar anymore, then you can come here and you can click this hide calendar from list, which is what I've done with these. Or with stuff that's older, you can go in here and you can delete the calendar, and that way it's off your list completely. All right, and so once we get our settings sorted out, then what we'll do is we'll just go back to our calendar page. And you can see here with the example AAG Coturba, I have things that are listed, okay? And so what I've done is I go here and I'll create an event, okay? And I'll name it whatever I want to. Okay. And then I'll go here to when it's due. And I'll click all day. And when I click all day, what that does is it doesn't take up my entire calendar. It'll just basically put a headline in my calendar and serve as a reminder. All right, so our deposit on this was actually due yesterday, which we got turned in. You don't have to add anyone because everyone who has access to this calendar is already added and they can add it to their personal calendar. No need to do any kind of conferencing or anything like that. And then typically what I will do, I'm not going to do it here because this is just an example. Typically what I will do is I will add the description and reference the contract, right? And so I'll do that, add description, reference the contract. And then the last thing before you save is you'll want to assign which calendar it's to, okay, which is the calendar you just created. And so there, you'll do that, and then you'll add a notification. So say it's actually the end of due diligence, right? And you want everyone to be notified a week before. And then also you want everyone to be notified a couple of days before. And then you also want everyone to be notified on the same day, right? So end of due diligence, really, really important date. Closing, really, really important date. All these things that are really, really important. And also you could do, if you wanted, 2 weeks notification, right? So if you wanted to do 2 weeks at 9 a.m., you could do that. So you can create as many notifications as you want, depending on when you want them and how important it is. Okay. So going back here, I'm not going to save that one, but just using this here as an example, evidence of title due. Okay. So you can also see in my notes that I took PSA, purchase and sale agreement, line 38. Okay. And that way, if there's any question of anyone who has access to this as to what this event is referring to, they can go to the contract, they can reference line 38 in the contract, and they'll be able to see exactly what this event is. Okay. And so that's pretty much it. So you can just get here and you calendar all your dates and you set your reminders and whenever you want them. And that way they show up in your calendar. And then another thing that's really, really good here, if you wanted to get all of these in one location, boom, I can just search the name of my calendar or my events, right? And it'll all pull in here. So then you can take this and copy and paste it into a Word document, or maybe you want to screenshot this and share it with people who don't have access to the calendar or lost access to the calendar or don't know how to set up a calendar. You can screenshot and send it to them in an email, or as I said, copy and paste into a Word document. So really, really easy and effective tool for calendaring all your dates and being able to see it all without having to keep track of a bunch of different documents. It's in the cloud, it's on your calendar, it's on your phone, and you're all set.